my name is Jason Saunders. I graduated from PLU this last December with a degree in music education, and I composed the piece Monotone for the Chorale tour. So when I'm composing, I usually keep a set of texts just sitting on my computer waiting to be set, and that was the case with Monotone. I have the desire to write a piece that was more simple, and a lot of the music I've written is pretty tricky and complex, and I don't think that this piece is lacking in any complexity, but it's definitely simpler elements. So with that in mind, I was thinking, what's a good text that would fit a simple piece? And this was one of the texts that I had filed away a while ago, and I took a look at it, and I appreciated it for its shortness, for its kind of meditative quality. It's just a really simple image of rain, and I thought, perfect, this will be something I can set that's nice and simple. So with that in mind, my first goal really was to make the idea of the rain come alive, so I wanted to start with a piano accompaniment that was going to somehow evoke rain. And once I had sort of figured out what I wanted to do with the piano, a kind of repetitious, minimalist type of thing, then I started filling in what the choir was going to do. And that's mostly just some pretty simple melodic lines. Again, I just wanted to capture the meditative quality of the text and sort of have the piece lull the audience into this meditation with rain. When I first gave this piece to Chorale, I was a little concerned that it might just be a little too long or not have quite enough in it, so I was really looking forward to hearing it with the choir itself. So when I came into the rehearsal, got to hear it with the piano and the choir, I was really happy with how the choir has interpreted it. A lot of it depends on treatment of the text because the music itself is pretty simple, and I really love the way that Chorale has just crafted their interpretation of the text and really brought the consonants to life. And that, I think, really helps make the piece work. And I can also tell they are putting some emotional thought into it, especially on some of the sections with just awe, where there isn't necessarily a text you can be talking about. I can tell that they've considered the emotions behind the piece, and that's coming through. And so I was really pleased when I got to hear it with choir, and I'm looking forward to hearing it in performance. So one cool thing about the Chorale program that I didn't realize is that there's another piece about rain, like Monotone is, written by none other than Dr. Utz, who's a fantastic composer. And it's really cool because the pieces actually kind of complement each other. In Dr. Utz's piece, it's about thirsting for rain and begging for rain, and then in the piece I wrote is about rain and rain falling. So it's kind of cool programmatically, and I had no idea that would happen. So I'm looking forward to hearing how that works together. They're also really different sounding pieces too, so that helps make them kind of complementary. And it's kind of funny that both Northwest composers decided to write about rain, because it rains here. So I started toying around with composition when I was in high school. I was fortunate enough to be the student conductor for our high school choir. And about the same time as when I started thinking about composition as a hobby, just sort of playing things on the piano. So naturally enough, I started to try to write things for choir, because I loved choral music and I wanted to see, well, I want to try to write some of my own. So my earlier music was really influenced by Eric Whitacre and Morton Lordson, the added tone harmony sound and cluster chords. I thought that was all really cool. And so some of my earlier music, you can definitely tell that influence is there. When I came to PLU, I got exposed to a ton of different kinds of music, especially in music history, being exposed to people like Stravinsky, Bartók's, more angular, agitated music. So my breadth of influences started to expand a lot, which is great. So because of that, the choral pieces I've written to date, there's a decent amount of variety because I've had a lot of different kinds of influences. So that's really been the process of trying to write down what I hear, and what I hear being expanded by the different types of music I listen to.